On today's show, international artists converge on Minnesota. Their goal, to be the best cold weather sculptors on Earth. Wheels spin as hardy hunters try to chase down late season pheasants. And we get wild in the kitchen, whipping up a wild game appetizer.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hi everybody, Bill, Millie and I welcome you to today's chilly episode.
You know, who knew that our state is such a winter destination?
It sure is. In fact, competitors from more than a dozen countries travel to our state for the World Champion Snow Sculpting Competition.
And it all happens, as Ron Scherer reports, in the city of Stillwater.
I thought it was a snowman building contest, but apparently it's much better than that.
For sure, not a snowman, but snow is involved, serious snow, and it's worldly.
We are just along the riverfront here, and the third annual World Snow Sculpting Championship. It's just an amazing event pulling the best sculptors from countries all over the world to compete right here in Stillwater, Minnesota.
The snow artists are vying for the title of World Champion, and the competition is intense.
Competition is so fierce here this year. It really is epic.
No surface is left untouched before these are judged.
When I judge snow sculpting, I'm looking at the artistry, the creativity. So is it something new and unique we haven't seen before? Are the lines clean? Is the snow brushed off? I think it's really important to push the medium and to make something that seems impossible.
I actually thought I heard a little crack, so it freaked me out a little bit, but it ended up going all right.
It didn't just start now. It started 4 days ago when this was a giant cube. And to see it morph over time is really what this is all about.
These snow sculptures represent many different countries.
We joined all of competition in here. This competition is third one. It was very cold, especially this year it's colder than last year. When we work, probably around us minus 20 Celsius. It is good for snow, but not us.
Yes, nature also impacts the contest.
You know what they say, Mother Nature is our fourth teammate.
That's right. You're working, battling these elements of below zero wind temps. You're trying to concentrate so that you don't accidentally hit the wrong piece of snow and chop up a giant chunk that you can't replace.
The sculpting snow, clean, hard-packed, is brought in by Afton Alps. However, you don't need to be a snow expert to compete.
You know, it's probably most surprising for people when there's really southern countries. Like, why would Mexico know how to sculpt snow, and they're exceptional at it?
And you know, the interesting thing about this piece being Team Mexico, and when I think of knitting, I think more of llamas.
And then we have Wales and Ecuador and Turkey. Local restaurants will sponsor them and serve a little taste of where they're from, which gives everybody a little taste of their culture. It's great.
And the other thing, too, that I love that Stillwater does is that the whole community rallies together around the sculptors.
Dare we say, Stillwater is a true melting pot of snow lovers.
There's something about Stillwater that is warm and passionate and proud, and that is reflected on how we treat these folks from around the world. When they come into Minnesota, it's a Minnesota nice.
The people are so talented, and then to have people from other parts of the world here in Stillwater, it's exciting, and it makes winter fun.
It's putting us on the map. I mean, we're a destination, so this is, yeah, come on down.
A destination by day as well as by night.
So at night, this place turns into a winter wonderland with beautiful lights.
Finally, the votes are in. Our friends to the north take home the crown.
I think they're just very beautiful. I think this year actually seems really unique in the kind of detail, and I mean, they're very intricate.
Coming up, the ups and downs of late season hunting.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, Star Bank, Rapid Marine family of dealerships, and by Flow Docks and Lifts.
Hey, Trav.
Hey, Laura. Big day today. Hair, dance recital, we need Connecticut water.
Totally get it. Follow me, you ready?
Wonderful. Thank you. You're the best. Best water, best lemonade. Book club. Can't have spots.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Travis, go get your own Connecticut water system.
I just need the phone number.
Connecticut, the world's most efficient water treatment system.
Get boat show pricing today at Rapid Marine. Rapid Marine is the largest Lund dealer in the country with hundreds of new Lund boats in stock. Showrooms are now open for your own personal boat show with the best selection of the year and the best prices. Get ultimate savings of up to $7,500 on a new Lund, but only for a limited time. Lock in your Lund at Rapid Marine, 4 Minnesota locations, and rapidmarine.com.
Ron Shera here. Just thinking about fishing, thinking about why Star Bank is our bank at Ron Shera Productions. You see, Star Bank is family owned, therefore you are treated like family. Call Star Bank, a person answers. Walk into Star Bank, they know your name. Star Bank is growing, now 11 locations in Minnesota. The latest is in Hancock and Stevens County. Yeah, Star Bank makes you feel good in many ways, just like a fish on the end of my line. Oh yeah.
Member FDIC.
Flow aluminum dock systems are made to bring time at the lake to a whole new level. You can create any layout you want and accessorize it for comfort and fun. They're strong, stable, safe, and they add a beautiful touch to your shoreline that will last for a very long time. Maybe it's time to join the thousands of other families that have turned their dock into a shoreline paradise. Maybe it's time for a Flow.
Hi everybody, Ron Shera here, inviting you to join me September 10th as we explore Alaska by land and sea with Colette. From domed rail cars, wildlife in Denali National Park, and a 7-night cruise. Colette covers the details, flights, meals, hotels, and more. Join us. I'll lead the way. Go to mnbound.com to learn more.
Some upland hunters are just wired a little bit differently. Around here, the late season leads to something called the late season. If you covet cold landscapes and you love to hunt, the end of the season means you probably own a snowblower. Jorge Vicuña's hunting hotspots hide behind January snowdrifts.
Man, he is an indescribable character. The only Chilean in Beetle County, South Dakota.
This sort of pursuit,
what are we doing, Aaron?
An acquired taste among three friends.
Damn it.
So what's current conditions? I'd say it's about 15 degrees, and it's got to be 20 to 25 mile an hour winds straight out of the north.
See, Minnesota's ring-necked pheasant season closes January 1st.
Find him.
But if you still want to hunt, South Dakota's season stretches to the end of January, an extended cold season that comes with quirks.
Tracks everywhere.
Like all the signs that point you to the spots where ring-necked pheasants hope to find shelter.
Tracks everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere.
Hunting's version of purgatory. Late season cattails. Deep, thick, thigh burn-inducing habitat.
Everyone should hunt South Dakota in January.
Rooster! 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 God!
Cattails, the curse of the late season.
Son of a...
The cover where pheasants feel safe from both the weather and the hunters.
Fetch it up! Holy smokes, Crosby. Good boy. Woo! We are the only ones out here pheasant hunting right now. We've seen exactly no other pheasant hunters this trip.
These tough hunts often prove a lonely existence. But for Tony Jones, a pastor by trade, he finds peace on this day and in this place.
These days I feel way closer to God, frankly, than I do in a church or in most places. This is where I feel a connection to the divine.
And maybe a strong connection to both the land and the critter we chase.
Rooster right there. Hand. I got a mark. Right here?
Yeah.
Get him, Mills.
Yeah, you're right around it.
Good girl, Mills. Good girl. Come on, girl. Come on, Mills.
Awesome. There they go, more getting up.
Good girl. Woo! Oh my God.
Three friends making memories during hunting season's toughest chapter. In Scott's case, thank goodness for friends.
There we go.
Still ahead, a look inside the magical offices of a Minnesota legend, a guy who loved life outdoors too. But first, Laura and Jim whip up a wild game antelope recipe.
Closed captioning provided by Clamshell Beach Resort.
You know, in Minnesota, up north is a magical place. Cabin life, fishing, boating, relaxing, making family memories. Hi, I'm Ron Shera, here to tell you about a new, affordable way to enjoy the magic. I found it here at Clamshell Beach Resort, located on the Whitefish chain. Clamshell offers lake homes with deeded fractional ownership, which means you can own and enjoy the resort without the hassle of maintenance and worry. Go to cottagesonwhitefish.com to start creating your own family memories.
Hi everybody, today we're getting wild in the kitchen with Chef Jim Kimber from Stillwater Country Club. And Chef Jim, I dug out some antelope backstrap from my freezer. So what are we making today?
We got a fun little appetizer plan. It's a crostini with a seared antelope, little whipped ricotta, a little balsamic fig jam.
Kind of a northern Italian inspired appetizer.
Exactly.
All right, well let's get started.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm guessing first step is seasoning the antelope. Yes?
It is. Guess what we're gonna season with today?
Your favorite, salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. When you got meat this good, you don't need anything more. So I'm gonna sprinkle a little salt if you want to back me up with that pepper mill. Okay. You can be pretty generous with that.
Both sides?
Both sides.
All right, are we hitting the stovetop?
We are, we're ready.
Okay.
All right, so we've got our pan preheated, medium high. We're gonna do a little chef trick. We're gonna infuse the oil with a little garlic, some fresh rosemary. We're gonna add the meat with this antelope, these back straps, these little medallions. They're gonna cook pretty quick. So about 2 to 3 minutes each side. Just want a little bit of color, some nice caramelization.
Smells good, I can tell you that.
That's where that rosemary and garlic really come into play. Just do that little something extra.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah, it smells so good.
It certainly does.
Laura, if you'd be so kind, I've got some whipped ricotta there. We need to spread some of that on the crostinis.
Excellent.
All right, beautiful. So, moment of truth, let's cut into this.
Chef.
Antelope, see how we did here? Going for a nice medium rare. I think we nailed it.
Wow, it certainly did.
All right. So now it's just a matter of assembly. We'll put a couple of those pieces on each one. Got a little bit of fig jam here, balsamic fig jam. So this is dried figs that we cooked down with a little bit of onion and a little bit of balsamic and a little bit of maple syrup until it's nice and thick like this.
And last,
we're just gonna take a simple little piece of parsley, give it a little bit of color.
this is like the accessory.
Yes.
Voila.
And there we have it.
Appetizer is ready. All right, chef, this looks delicious. Once again, I like your philosophy. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. All right, you ready for a taste?
Let's do this.
Looks good.
All right, cheers.
Hey there, Bill Shirk, the man about the woods. You know, starting a fire in camp is a bit of an acquired skill. These days, so many people carry around boxes of matches or even pockets full of lighters, but there are more traditional means to starting fire, and it actually can be a fun way to challenge yourself when you're outdoors. Here's what my fire starting kit looks like, and that's the name of it. You try and pronounce that. But it's pretty simple. It's a finished kit, and it's just got fat wood with a lot of pitch in it that's flammable. It's got a little tin of sawdust and then a ferrous stick, or a magnesium stick, which is where your spark comes from. And to start a fire, all I need to do is get some wood chips together. And I just grab a little pinch of the sawdust and drop it in the middle. And I just grab that stick. I like using my camp axe just because it works really well. And you start throwing sparks. There you go. Just a few sparks and it fires right up. That's really a lot of fun. Try using a magnesium stick and try to build your own fires. It's really a fun challenge, and it's a great skill to have when you're out in the woods.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Leech Lake Tourism, Premier Marine, and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Are you ready for your next summer adventure? Don't drag your feet. Check into paradise at legendary Leech Lake. Leech has built a reputation for amazing family vacations. Over 195 miles of shoreline and some of the best fishing in Minnesota. Activities for the whole family, too. Parks and trails for hiking and biking, shopping, dining, and gaming await you as well in Walker. There are over 30 family resorts and hotels waiting for you this summer at Leech Lake. So drop into summer and book your vacation today at leechlakeoutdoors.com.
No matter how you do water, there's a Premier pontoon for you. Because Premier pontoons are the best riding, best built, and have the best technology in the industry, with countless floor plans to choose from and exclusive award-winning innovations like Revolution seating and Troll and Stow. So whether you're looking for your first pontoon or your next, look to Premier.
Minnesota legend Bud Grant led the Minnesota Vikings to 4 Super Bowls.
But you know, off the field, he had another great passion. That of life outdoors.
Ron Shera shares Bud's classic story.
His office at the Minnesota Viking headquarters, well, it barely looks like Bud's moved in. That may be a sign of where Bud Grant has found peace of mind. And for Bud, that place is the northern woods of Wisconsin. These are the backlands where he grew up and hunted as a young boy. And it's on this very spot that over 40 years ago, Bud and an Army buddy camped out. Grant loved the area so much, he returned later and bought the land and built this cabin, financed in a rather unusual way.
I scalped football tickets for 2 years at the university to pay for this.
Bud's outdoor refuge includes deer hunting woods, a couple of fishing lakes, and a variety of wildlife that share the land. Although his appreciation for the outdoors has always played a major role in his life, Bud's coaching career, too, was also changed by his outdoor philosophies. Back in the 1970s, Bud and I went duck hunting the day before an important NFL championship game. It was his ability to have balance in his life that was one reason Bud was able to avoid burning out from the pressures of life as an NFL coach.
But everything was done by Saturday, and we played on Sunday. Right. So there was nothing else I could do on Saturday but sit around and sweat. I'd rather sweat in a duck blind than I would sitting around fidgeting, waiting for the game to come on.
You remember how that game came out?
I can't remember.
It was the Cleveland game.
Oh, was it? Was that the game?
Yeah. And you tromped them like 48-14 or something like that?
Well, I should have gone duck hunting more often then.
Which brings us up to the Super Bowl. Yeah. You ever going to live that down, or don't you feel like you have to live anything down?
I don't have to, no. I mean, my life wouldn't be any different today if we'd have won 4 Super Bowls. I mean, there's nothing that would have changed. I mean, I wouldn't be anyplace else. I wouldn't have had any more. I wouldn't have done anything different. I mean, football is entertainment.
Because Bud was always coaching in the fall and therefore busy, he was never able to enjoy a full autumn of leisure deer hunting. So over the years, he entertained himself by the next best thing, collecting deer antlers. He has a sense for unusual treasures in the outdoors, and he finds them important. He also hopes these same experiences will be around for tomorrow's generation as well.
I still cannot think of our Minnesota Vikings without thinking about Bud Grant.
You know, I had the chance to shoot sporting clays with Bud once. He was a great shot and a great guy.
Love it. Well, that about does it for us. We certainly hope to see you back here next week.
In the meantime, remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors. She's ready to go outside.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.